On the morning of March 11th, an ordinary train journey turned into a horrifying hostage crisis. Hundreds of unsuspecting passengers boarded the Jaffar Express, never imagining they were about to become part of one of the most terrifying hijackings in history.
Pakistan have hijacked a passenger train in a remote and rugged area of southwestern Balochistan.
What began as a routine trip soon spiraled into chaos, bloodshed, and an international crisis that left the world in shock. On March 1st at around 9 a.m., the Jaffar Express departs from Quetta, heading towards Peshawar Kant and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, carrying over 400 passengers, including civilians, children, women, and military personnel in its 9 coaches. No one board could have imagined the terror that was about to come. The total distance from Quetta to Peshawar Kant is 1,600 kilometers, and the Jaffar Express takes approximately 36 hours to complete this journey, stopping at 44 stations along the way. As usual, the train was packed with passengers and continued on its route. After departing from Quetta, it had already passed through Kalpur, Mak, and Abigum stations, headed towards the next stop, Sibi. Since the train was traveling through Balochistan, security guards were present aboard, as the Jaffar Express had been attacked in the region before. This wasn't the first time the Jaffar Express faced danger. On July 13, 2005, a bomb derailed the Shalimar Express near Sukkur, killing 13. On February 15, 2006, a Quetta-bound train in Dera Bukti was hit, leaving 3 dead. October 23, 2007, saw the Jaffar Express itself bombed near Sibi, claiming 8 lives, linked to the Balak Liberation Army. In autumn 2018, twin blasts in Bolan narrowly missed it, and on November 9, 2024, a BLA suicide attack at Quetta station killed 26. These attacks, marked by explosives and targeted trains, foreshadowed the chaos of this horrible attack. The BLA militants were hiding in the rugged mountainous terrain of Pir, Kandari, and Gouda near the Bolan Pass, an area known for its caves and natural cover. They had likely been stationed there for days, carefully planning and waiting for the Jaffar Express to arrive. As the train moved near, the tunnels in the Bolan Pass and the mountainous regions of Pir, Kandari, and Gouda, suddenly a powerful explosion occurred on the tracks ahead of the Mosque Tunnel. The Balochistan Liberation Army, BLA, had detonated a rocket blast destroying the railway tracks. Hearing the blast, the train driver quickly applied the emergency brakes and stopped the train. Within moments, BLA militants who had been hiding in the mountains surrounded the train, and a gunfight had erupted between the security forces aboard and the BLA fighters. But eventually, the BLA seized complete control and took control on it, and the train was now hijacked. The train had stopped inside a tunnel before reaching Sibi station, making it difficult for the security forces to realize when and how the militants boarded. Shortly after taking control, the BLA militants reportedly ordered the passengers to step out and began checking their identification cards. They separated them based on ethnicity: Punjabis, Sindhis, Balak, and Pashtuns. Military personnel, police officers, ISI agents, and government officials were singled out, while women, children, and elderly Balak passengers were allowed to leave. The BLA then executed Pakistani military members one by one, further escalating the horror inside the train. The situation quickly turned serious. Reports surfaced that the attack had caused significant damage, leaving many injured and several dead. The BLA then realized a statement declaring they had taken 182 hostages and killed 11 Pakistani military members during the gunfight. They further claimed that most of the hostages were Pakistani army officers, police, ISI agents, and other government staff. The BLA issued a warning that if the Pakistani military attempted a rescue operation, they would execute all of the hostages. This announcement sent shockwaves through the Pakistani army and intelligence agencies, as such a large-scale attack had taken place right under their noses without any prior warning. Inside the stopped train, a horrifying attack took place. The compartments echoed with screams as people were shot and killed. Blood stained the train floors. Bodies were thrown onto the tracks, and terror surrounded the passengers. Children cried, women screamed, and Pakistani security officers begged for their lives. Survivors later recounted the horror. This terrifying incident speaks for itself, showing just how horrific it truly was. If you're captivated by this story, please take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe for more real-life events like this. Your support is what keeps us bringing these intense stories to you. The BLA had issued a 24-hour ultimatum to the Pakistani government, demanding the release of political prisoners and missing persons involved in Baluchistan's fight for independence. If their demands were not met, they threatened to kill the hostages one by one. However, the Pakistani government underestimated the seriousness of the situation and did not realize the political prisoners and missing persons that the Baluchistan Liberation Army, BLA, demanded. Instead of negotiating, the Pakistani military launched a rescue operation instead. This led to intense gunfire between the two sides. The Baluch insurgents repelled the Pakistani forces multiple times, with the BLA claiming the army failed in 16 attempts to reclaim the train. For the next 30 hours, the massacre continued. The BLA selectively executed Pakistani military personnel while allowing civilians, including women, children, and senior citizens, to go free. As news of the hijacking spread, global media outlets began covering the crisis. Governments and human rights organizations called for immediate action, while Pakistan faced intense pressure to respond decisively. The Pakistani military, intelligence agencies, and government convened emergency meetings to prepare a rescue strategy. On March 12th, after multiple failed attempts, the Pakistani military launched a large-scale operation involving special forces, paramilitary units, and the Air Force. The operation was commanded by senior military officials. Given the challenging terrain and the militants' use of hostages as human shields, the military executed a carefully planned assault. Snipers eliminated key insurgents before commandos stormed the train cars in a compartment-by-compartment operation. Airstrikes were also carried out in surrounding mountainous hideouts to prevent reinforcements from arriving. Pakistan later claimed that 33 BLA militants had been killed and that 300 passengers were successfully rescued. However, 31 people, including 18 soldiers, lost their lives in the operation. The BLA, on the other hand, countered this claim, stating that they had executed all 214 hostages before the military intervention. With both sides providing conflicting narratives, one critical question remained. If only 18 soldiers had died, why were 200 coffins sent to Mashq Tunnel? This incident left a lasting mark, exposing Pakistan's fragile grip on Baluchistan and adding another chapter to the region's turbulent history.